Alright, here we are in a beautiful Palmdale, California day. Very nice. Take a look at this one, Mopar guys. 1963 Dodge 330 Tribute 426 Max-Wedge. We're going to walk around and tell you about it like we usually do. This car is owned by a, and what we know about it as we cruise around here, this car is owned by a longtime engine builder, very technical guy, drag racing engine builder. He has two of these cars we're doing on this trip. He has a Polara that would be coming up too. We'll probably have a photo of both cars together at Spud's Garage. Very nice, finished in a factory style red. I think it's called Fiesta Red. This car was originally a Southern California car, and it's still in Southern California. He purchased the car, super dry body car, we'll go over a lot of the details at Spud's Garage. But just for instance, a lot of this trim on this car is really hard to find. You can imagine this thin piece of trim, how hard it is to find. He was telling me when he purchased the car, these 330 emblems were missing and he had to pay blood for them, and other emblems on the car, that type of thing. These stickers on the window were on the car. This car does has some, spent some time drag racing in the past based on him picking up the car and purchasing it, that type of thing. These stickers were on the car. This is a this is not a decal, this is a water transfer. So he kept a little bit of the original feel. The front and rear glass is new. The side glass is the original to the car. It's hard to find these 330 bodies, let alone the expense of building a Max-Wedge underneath the hood. 727 Torque-Flite, double cable style, so 1-year trans. Max-Wedge has the cross ram dual carburetors on it. Has an 8 3/4 rear differential. You hear me waving around my cheat sheet here that I didn't put together last night. 100 miles since restoration. Call it average professional paint job on it. Very nice, very presentable. A lot of horsepower in this car, a lot of fun to drive. We'll get you the undercarriage with the tilt camera here and cover it here in the lot. All the trim and bright work. When he purchased the car, the headlight rings, another example, were missing because those are really hard to find, and he had to acquire those. Grill and bright work's beautiful. All the bumpers have been replated. The wheels themselves, he tried to give them the magnesium or the mag wheel style, so they've been powder coated. Those are American racing style center caps on it. I think the early ones were called Keystone mags, but these are powder coated to look correct or close to a super stock car. Has the 3-inch exhaust on it with the factory style cutouts in it. Left my camera on the seat there. We can live with that. I'll move it when I get over on the driver's side here. Factory style interior in it. Dash. Really neat 10K Sun Tac over there on the driver's side. We'll share that with you. Again, the same stickers over here on this side. Again, about 100 miles since this car's been complete. Few years, that type of thing. Kind of labor of love to build a couple of these. It's now time to let them go. When it was bought, it was purchased. It had the really nice thin original style finish on it, and this car was sanded down to bare metal, and it's a no Bondo car. So when we get to the undercarriage, you'll see what I mean. It's a real 426 Max-Wedge motor, 10.75 compression ratio, all new 727 Torque-Flite. Has a Hughs 3500 stall converter in it. As I cruise around here, I'm just going to hit my sheet. All new shocks, brakes, torsion bars, that type of thing underneath. We get underneath the hood here, the owner will explain all that for you. It's hard to get it all in there. It has a original 60/40 front factory seat in it. It's a single stage paint, so if you want to take it one more level, you could. You could pick it for a couple little, there's a small chip here. And it's easily touched up. This is the kind of car you're going to want to drive and have fun with and take to a show. Step back and let you take a look there. Nice day in the park. We're able to avoid the wind today. Went over tire sizes and that kind of thing when we did the undercarriage portion of the video, which I've already done for you. Stopped by his home last night, went over both cars, and then able to get to the park here this morning and get them documented and avoid some wind. Back seat car, seat belts. I'm going to move the sheet here and my camera, and we'll get in here and actually have a run-in video underneath the hood, that type of thing. Factory style door panels. 10K tacks are really hard to find. It's not a reproduction. Gauges underneath the dash there. We never test radios, so the radio does not work in this one. Oh, this one in this car works. Starts right up. Push button controls here. Fuel gauge is working. The speedometer does not work. These are actual miles on this car. He just disconnected it because the speedometer is noisy. So if you wanted to have it connected, you could. You would just have to enjoy the noise or send it out and have it fixed fairly reasonably. All right, we get you underneath the engine compartment here. We have the owner standing here, Jim, and he's going to tell us about the powertrain underneath the hood. And very detailed engine builder, so we'll let him tell us.
Hi there. Okay, this is a 426 Max-Wedge. The block started out originally as a 413 industrial block with a date code of 1961. Those particular blocks you could bore out to 426, which is 1/8 of an inch from the 413, and still have plenty of cylinder wall. In fact, these blocks are known to be Siamese bore, and they're high nickel content. It has Kellogg crankshaft in it. It's got Prower billet rods, Racetech pistons, forged piston, 10.5 to 1. It's got a comp cam roller camshaft, comp cams, roller lifters, Manton push rods, Isky rocker arms, Manton adjusters, Cloyce timing chain. It's all balanced and blueprinted.
About 100 miles on it right now?
It's got about 100 miles on it.
Okay.
It's got all new valves, new springs, new retainers.
Those are original wedge heads?
Those are original 63 heads.
Okay.
Date coded. And it's got 4-bolt valve covers, which, you know, they normally have another in 64 and later. There's another bolt right here. So these are original valve covers and heads. The manifolds, a date coded 63 manifold. It's got Edelbrock carburetors on it because the original ones are just really hard to get, and when you find them, most of them are junk. Anyway, but
the exhaust manifolds, these are NOS, they're originals?
NOS Mopar exhaust manifolds, cast iron manifolds that they had back in 1963, and
you said they're about $3,500 a set.
Yeah, 3,500.
So it has a 727 Torque-Flite in it?
727 Torque-Flite. It's a 2-cable, which in 1963 there was they had a different type of U-joint than what they have now, or what this one has now. And this transmission's a 65 transmission, and it's a 2-cable, and it has a long tail shaft with a slip yoke instead of a trunnion U-joint. It's got modern U-joints, chromoly drive shaft.
It's a push button control on the dash, correct?
Button, yeah. Factory push button. All the I tried to stay original as I could on everything. It's got 8 3/4 rear end. We took the 63 tapered spline axles out and put flat spline axles in it. It's got a 323 gear with a POSI. All bearings and everything are all new. The rear end's perfect. Super stock springs in the back. New Hemi torsion bars in the front. All the front suspension is done. The steering box has been done. It's got new brakes all the way around.
I think we covered a little bit here. We're actually going to let you hear it run. So I can photograph the other side of the car here. A little short video. We'll get you in the trunk here. Nice solid car like we talked about during the walk around. Has a super stock style trunk mounted battery in the back. Battery on off switch here. Of course, jump points. There's all new fuel tank and stuff in it. We talked about that during the walk around. Fuel lines. All right, we'll get you the undercarriage here and cover that for you. Very solid Southern California car like we talked about. The owner covered a lot of the things about the engine and powertrain is under the engine compartment portion of the video that you just listened to. BF Goodrich TA radials. There are two 2570 R15 up front. Give you a feel here, the super stock style exhaust with the cutouts on it. Got to get a feel of the body side here, that type of thing. 3-inch exhaust on it, super stock style, like I just mentioned. I don't think I said 3-inch. 8 3/4 rear differential. All set up. We'll have specs about that at Spud's Garage. It has on the rear here, it has 275 60 R15s, I believe I'm seeing. All done in the Tribute style. All new fuel tank, all new fuel lines. The exhaust is nicely done. Cool car. See up into the quarters here. This is a really nice Southern California car. It's really hard to find these 330 bodies. Make sure you pay attention to the whole video, and definitely go to Spud's Garage and take a good look at all the still photos we took. We took a bunch. We always do. There's a cutout from the back side here. Engine powertrain has less than 100 miles on it. The whole car since it was restored. There you go. All stock brakes, all new. Drum brakes.